Hello and welcome. I think I'll just talk about this GoPro 2 that I bought purely for vlogging. I kind of did a bit of research on the internet about, I was thinking I might start doing a couple of vlogs, and I looked at the GoPro 3 and everything else, and I kept going back to this GoPro 2 for various reasons. The battery life, and you don't need the USB microphone adapter. So I looked around and I found that they stopped selling them, or they stopped making them. So it was kind of hard to come across them over here anyway in Ireland. I seen them on eBay and they were going for silly money. Eventually I tracked one down for it's about 250 quid, the outdoor edition, and I have to say the quality is absolutely fantastic. I have it set at, I think, 720 and 60 frames a second. I've only done literally a couple of videos. Now, from what I've seen so far, it's absolutely amazing quality for what it is. The little mods you have to do for anybody thinking about getting to vlogging, there's different areas to mount your camera. Now, the obvious place you're going to say straight away is on top of the helmet. There's nothing wrong with that, except it looks kind of stupid, and the perspective for the viewer to see your videos, if he or she gets it head on from what you see, it's a lot more enjoyable. I think anyway. From I look at a lot of these guys on YouTube, and probably the most common one is the side of the helmet. And you just, it's only when you watch a video where it's filmed from the chin area or head on from their side of vision, it's a lot better. You kind of see the side of the helmet in the shot, and I've seen ones on top of the helmet, and it's kind of, you just know it's not in their peripheral vision. It's just, it's too high. And then I experimented with the chin area. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube where they had them set in the chin. I was thinking, yeah, that works for me. Now, what I did personally is a lot of helmets, you don't really, the mounts you get with the U2 kit, you get a straight mount or a curved mount. And most of the helmets in the chin area down there, it's hard to get a good seal on it. The adhesive label, when you tear it off and you stick it on, you don't get 100% contact surface with your helmet because of the way it's curved. So what I did was I stuck it on, and I was thinking, okay, will I glue it? What will I do? So in the end I used silicone on the sides. Now silicone, once it sets, is very, very strong, and the beauty about it is if it's expensive helmet, you're to remove it off, it's very easy to remove silicone. Once it's hardened, it would nearly come off in a strip. So that's a little tip for anybody who is finding trouble mounting it to a curved area chin. I had silicone in the car, I was probably using it for work or something, so I didn't have to buy a tube, but it's very cheap to buy anyway. And stick it on, just the adhesive mount, and you'll probably notice that you won't get 100% contact surface. So what I did was I probably had maybe 20%, because the helmet I have is particularly in that it's an awkward shape. So once I had it in position, I got the silicone gun, the small little hole in the nozzle, and I just put a little bead either side and rubbed it in with my finger, and then I kind of squashed it onto it and I let it set, and it is solid. You could swing over it and it ain't going to come off. Now I know from using silicone before, the helmets I have are not particularly expensive, but if you have a really expensive helmet, it's easy to get it off. It'll nearly come off in one piece. And what I did was then, to get the perfect angle on the camera, which I think I have now, you probably see a bit of the dash. If I hold my head up, you'll be above it, but I have a pretty good angle from what I'm seeing. So I bought an external microphone off eBay, and it wasn't quite long enough to get it. I have it in the helmet, I have it just offset to my mouth so I don't be breathing all over it. So I bought a little 3.5 like a jack extender. So it's a little lead, it's about maybe 4 inches long, and one end plugs into the side of the GoPro and the other end goes into the microphone. So that gives you a lot of comfort if you want to experiment in different areas in your helmet, to put it like left, right, center, wherever. I'm only a newbie in the vlog, and so I kind of have it to one side, and the videos I've done so far, I've been impressed with it. If you're driving around slow speeds all the time, there's very little wind noise or distortion. It's only when I get onto the motorway 60, 70, 80 mile an hour and above that you really, you know, it's not, you can still watch the videos but you can hear the noise in it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. You know, I read a lot of reviews about other stuff, the action cams and GoPro 3s and 4s. A lot of people were saying, you know, for vlogging, it's a little bit icy here, for vlogging, go for the GoPro 2, which I did. You know, when you first start doing the vlogs, when you see people doing them, you think it's, oh, this is kind of easy. But when you start doing it yourself, it's not what you're trying to pick topics to talk about and to entertain people, and you kind of focus on your driving as well. So it's a little bit, you're kind of thinking, shit, what to talk about here? You know, you can start off, say a couple of lines and just go quiet, and nobody wants to see that shit. So man, I hate that when you're driving along and you just get a smell of food. I just smell chips or something. Awesome. Why went out in front of me? Anyway, yeah, the GoPro 2, there's one little other mod I meant to say. It's obvious enough though. On the protective cover, like the waterproof case, if you look where the microphone outlet is, you're going to have to obviously plug it in. So if you just mark it with black felt marker and just drill it through, take your time, drill it enough to get your jack lead in, that's it, your way you go. I bought a memory card off eBay. It was a 32 gig SanDisk, I think, and you know, did the job. So far so good. So like I said, if you're thinking about getting into vlogging, definitely, you know, I know the GoPro 3 and 4 is the better quality, better resolution. I don't think the battery life is as good, and if it's just for, you know, putting your videos on YouTube or just for your own use, the GoPro 2 seems to do everything you need. Alright, talk soon. Cheers.